Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you as always for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew Don't Get It Twisted Lapachet, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you once more for joining us. So we are recording this on the Sunday evening, the 21st of 4th of November. It is a quite a slow boxing news week. Unfortunately, there weren't really any major fights this weekend, and frankly, there won't be any next weekend. I mean, there's going to be some matchroom on with Sonny Edwards, of course, early in the morning Pacific Standard Time on DAZN. But in regards to major fights, we probably won't have the next major one, or at least more recognizable names until the 7th of December, the one I will be attending in Arizona. Glendale, Arizona, to be exact, Desert Diamond Arena with Navarrete taking on Valdez. That's going to be the 7th of December. So we'll have some fight news then, some actual good, better fight news and fight results, and we can talk about that fight. But this last weekend and the weekend coming, not really much as far as like boxing and boxing news, but we dug the internet. We went scouring trying to see what we can find, and we found something to talk about. And we certainly are not going to skip out on you guys. So we appreciate your patience with the boxing news because there ain't shit to talk about, quite frankly. But we're going to make it work. So before we get into all of those, Andrew, what's happening, dude? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Miguel? Ah, it was a slow weekend. Stood home this weekend. Christina had a baby shower yesterday. So oh, you know what we did?
Hmm.
We knocked out Mama's Christmas gifts. I took the kids, called Isadora, had her meet me at the mall over in
Hmm.
Modesto, and we knocked well, I got the kids out of the way with their mom, right?
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
so yeah, that's what we did. Then today just stood home. Didn't get to watch the Raiders. They're in Las Vegas now, so they don't
Did you
show
really
them
need
in
to?
the.
Did you really need to?
Yeah, no, it's actually to that point where it's a better thing. You kind of just look
Hmm.
at it and go, "Ah, they're losing. All right, move on." Niners lost, so that kind of makes you feel better.
That's some consolation.
Can Yeah, at least you can go to work and look at them in the eye. Go, yeah, you guys too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
time you
This
gotta wait.
sucked. It
Most time you
started.
gotta wait until the playoffs to do that to the Niners. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It always happens. You just gotta wait a little longer. But yeah, no, boring week, boring weekend, just chilling at the house, man, doing nothing but good. Everyone's healthy, everyone's got full bellies, so we're doing good. Yes, sir.
All right. Have you guys already started putting out the Christmas lights or not yet? We're gonna wait until after
Done.
Thanksgiving. Oh, really?
Well, not outside.
Oh, okay.
Not outside. You know what? I haven't. I don't even think I did it last year. We were supposed
Really?
to buy. We were supposed to buy new. Oh, I did it every time. Ever when we first bought the house.
Hmm.
But then I had our tree fell down and it looked really plain. We used to have a big tree outside and it
Okay.
fell down. I put a 24-foot ladder up, took lights all the way.
Oh
Right?
shit. All right.
Yeah. I wanted to just do it one time and then I left the lights there, but the tree ended up falling. But I didn't do it last year. I don't know. I didn't put lights up, and you're
Are you
right. I haven't
sure?
put.
Because I went to go visit you in December of last year for Devin Haney and Richie's
And
program.
they were up.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember if they were up. I know the tree was up, but I don't remember outside. Legit, I don't remember. Fuck.
Yeah.
But
It's
uh,
not hard. I got a flat roof house, right? So it's like a fucking string just borderlining the
mm,
outside, and then you border the windows, and bam, I'm done. It really isn't hard to do this house to get the lights up, but
mm.
definitely the inside is all done. We got that done last week. I think Christina completed the living room last week.
All right. What are your plans for Thanksgiving? Because it's going to be damn near the end of the month this particular year. But later this what is this week? Thursday the 28th, I think it is when it lands. You guys already have everything that's set up for
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
we stay here in Tracy and then go about 40 miles over to Christina's side. So nothing, no big not a lot of travel here.
Christina's side. What do you mean, like her family?
Yeah, her side of the
Oh,
family.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha, gotcha.
My
Oh, so
side
they
is
live.
right.
Oh,
Yeah, my side is right up the street and
oh.
Christina's is in Patterson. It's like two towns, two cities away.
Mm. All right. So you guys are gonna have so you do something here at your place and then you drive out to, or do you just go straight to her family side and do something
We
there?
do something with my mom and
Ah,
then we drive over to theirs for the night one.
all right. Do you guys
Yeah.
do like a turkey? Because I mean,
Yep.
for families, like, do you deep fry it or not? Do you just do it in the oven?
My mom does oven. Yeah, both do oven. We used
Mm.
to have an uncle that would do deep fry, but those days are long gone.
Ah. Do
You know
those,
how it
those,
goes from the big family to
yeah,
just the immediate family. Soon it's just gonna be then just us, right? The
yeah,
Lapaches. Now it's
yeah.
just the Lapaches doing their thing. Because now Isadora's like, "Oh, Dad, I gotta go to my boyfriend's side," and it's like, oh, whatever.
that's that's just the next logical step, right? I mean, that comes
Yeah,
next.
my I just had I'm a two-time great uncle now. Yeah, I just had another little boy enter the family.
No kidding.
Yep. Yep. That happened this
That's on
morning.
your side of the family.
Yeah, that yes.
Okay.
One of my nieces had her second boy. So that's awesome. Healthy,
Damn.
everyone's healthy. So that's awesome. So yeah, we're growing. We are growing as a family. Yes, sir.
Damn. All right. That's dude. That sounds like a pretty big fucking Thanksgiving. I don't know what you're talking about. Like you're like getting smaller. I'm like, what? You just added another one right now. Another
Yeah,
family member to
another
the
boy
damn
too.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go over to my brother-in-law's family spot because we sometimes we do it at our place, and I'm like, and I hate doing it at my house. Like, I mean, obviously it's like nice and warm and everything because everybody comes over, but I'm like, fuck, I gotta clean the house, gotta have everything ready. Like we're the ones that's hosting. That's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm like, nah, let me just have a dish ready, and I'll go, potluck style to someone else's house. It's like I leave the mess at their house. Fuck that. You can tell I'm a very you know very Christmassy person. No, but all that aside, so we have Thanksgiving coming up. So the fact that Thanksgiving is coming up next month or next year, sorry, Jesus Christ, next week.
Next week.
It's the last week of November. There aren't many fights, and I suspect that's probably why. Right, usually once the holidays come around, although we might have
Of
some
course.
fights coming up at the
This
end of December. But
this is the time where everyone puts out their pointless, useless list of fight of the year, fighter of the
yeah,
year,
yeah,
knockout of the year. Come on,
yeah,
some fun.
comeback of the year, robbery of the year. So we're gonna do that? No, I'm kidding. Like, yeah,
Nah,
like, no, we don't.
our boy used to. Lee used to
Yeah.
love this time of the year. He would throw one of the shows to that, the Fight Net
Hmm.
radio thing, but was never a big fan of it. It's just so pointless nowadays.
Mm.
Um,
Not gotta
the
be.
Ring magazine. Hey, can you believe that Oscar got that much for the Ring magazine, dude? He
Uh,
broke him off like 10 million or something like that. Did
that's
you hear
you know
about
what
that?
I did remember like that number was kind of like circling. I was like, wait, did I hear it for that or was it some other deal or something? But yeah, I did. Goddamn, that's
It's a nice chunk of change for
yeah.
something I thought died about 20 something years ago.
Hmm.
I mean, seriously, who's buying magazines anymore in 2024?
Yeah,
That's like buying a tape company, really. A record
yeah.
company, someone who makes print CDs.
Like
Blue,
I'm gonna manufacture VCRs from here on
yeah,
out. Shit.
DVDs. I mean, come on, magazines. What?
Yeah,
10 million. It has to be the streaming thing. It has to be Ring Television had to be what maybe we're underestimating how many hits they got on their website or something, but I can't believe that Ring magazine was still worth $10 million today. Who's subscribing to that? Where
yeah.
is that happening at? You know what I mean?
Mhm. That is weird. And like I think they said that, recently they weren't printing magazines, but now that His Excellency has bought it, they're gonna start that again. And I'm like, are you sure? I
Yeah,
mean,
not a good investment.
yeah.
Remember we
I,
talked about his investments.
yeah, he does.
we,
Like, how much of boxing does this fucker know, dude? Because like, who buys? I mean, don't get me
who
wrong. There
buys
are
magazines,
certain
man?
editions that I have bought. Like, I remember I bought this one that had like Pacquiao Marquez because of that crazy knockout. So I was like, cool stuff like that, right? But
Miguel,
every so often I'll buy
you
them, huh?
you never seen my magazine, or it's not even mine. It's Art Gallegos, but I was a part of it, right? Primer round. You never got your hands on a Primer round magazine?
No, no. Once I got, I mean, really, really into boxing, I started reading BoxingTalk.com, and I didn't buy magazines for shit. No.
Okay. They, our magazine, Art Gallegos put a lot of money into the quality of the pictures, and we were really known more for the photos that you
Mm,
could cut out of our magazine than the articles that were being put in, right?
mm,
That didn't work. And
mm.
we had a lot of people that were like using our stuff to get signed or whatever. Like it
Oh
was
yeah,
on,
yeah.
and then
Eight,
you would
eight by
cut.
tens or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Some nice quality, thick pages. Art did some real nice work with the pages on the photos. That didn't work,
Mm,
and we were there. We stood in the business until 15, maybe a little under 2015. It was probably before Pacquiao Mayweather. We
Mm.
art stopped printing. It was just over. Um, yeah, it's hard. The media, you got to pay these guys, so you have to make some kind of money when you're paying these guys that write these articles, right? Or
Yeah,
these guys can't be doing this stuff for free. It's just
yeah,
weird. I don't know. I was really thrown off on the number. Glad for De La Hoya, right? Made a little bit of money.
yeah.
Um,
Some fresh money
don't.
into the promotion, something.
Yeah, I don't. I'm hoping that it's more of a digital age they're stepping into though, because I've been a boxing fan my whole life. I remember going to the stores, running to the magazine aisle just to check to see if my magazine was there, right? Just to
Mm,
see well, I bought it. I mean, I don't know if you knew, but I had magazines for years. I have the whole fucking set, dude.
mm.
All of the Ring magazines. So I ran every store I would go and check. And we haven't seen them in stores in a long time, dude.
No, they're
Because
dude.
I had to
There's no
start
boxing anything in the
yeah,
last.
I had to start subscribing. That's right. I had to start
Oh,
actually subscribing, just have them mailed to my house. I was like, fuck it. I just like gave in. Once I got to like 18, had my own job, I was
mm,
like, I just subscribed. Was done with the whole chasing this magazine down every month to see if, you know, down there begging the liquor store, can you guys please ask the magazine guy if he can bring one in? And sometimes it did work, Miguel. Like they would be like, all right, we're gonna order 2 or 3. Like, shut the fuck up already. This kid fucking he won't
mm.
go home. He's fucking so it did work. But 10 million in 2024.
Yeah. No, that is nuts, dude. Like when I went to junior high, I used to take a fucking bike to school, and I would pass by a Smith's. I don't know if you guys have Smith's where you guys are at the grocery store. So
Yes,
in that Smith's shopping center, there was a magazine store. Like they had books and magazines, but it was primarily
that's right.
magazines.
That's right.
And like I'd get stuff there, inside the fucking Smith's, or in that same shopping center there was
Did
another
it have
magazine
the
right next to
adult
it.
book
Yeah.
side?
Yeah, they did. That's
Yes.
right. And I would go in there, and if I would go in there and there was a chick there, I wouldn't even try to go over to like the one because she'll fucking shoot me out of there, right? I'll just like have like a rest because I watch wrestling too, so I would get the wrestling magazines, but like take a look over here. But when I was a dude, I'd walk in there and not just fucking whatever. I'll take a look, and that guy didn't give two fucks. He's like this guy, I'm not doing anything. I'm just looking at fucking the magazines. It's like I'm doing anything
Right.
beyond that. But they had Ring magazine there, and every so often I'd get one, but by and large, I mean, I still have one, maybe two somewhere put away in like storage or something. But like, I don't remember the last time I even saw any boxing related magazines in the magazine aisle at the fucking Smiths or anything like that. So I'm surprised. I am kind of surprised that Oscar got that much from it. I was like, damn. When I hear stuff like this, it leads, it adds more credibility or more like logic to, oh yeah, clearly His Excellency doesn't know shit about boxing because if he's gonna fucking spend that much on fucking a magazine and it's like they're not printing right now. But clearly, he comes in and buys it and says, "All right, we're gonna start printing again." Like, look, I don't know how you did it in Saudi Arabia, homie, but here in the U.S., nobody fucking buys magazines anymore.
Right.
But got himself a nice little cash flow now, or not cash flow, but a nice little influx of money, I should say, because
Tax write-off.
yeah, we can call it that. Uh, but we can get started on some news.
They're all he bought it for 10 million, and he's saying that he invested 150 million into it this year.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, this guy's already in the fucking red before he even started. Um, but to get started with some news, because there was something going on, right? Most recently, and I'm sure our good buddy Sam Navajero would love to hear this. George Kambosos signed with Matchroom. Um, he's not exactly on the upside of his career right now, right? He's kind of, and me and Sam actually had a short conversation over Instagram talking about how he's pretty much a gatekeeper now, right? Kambosos I'm talking about. And there's this, I guess what Oscar De La Hoya calls this Matchroom curse, that once you sign over to Matchroom, Eddie Hearn is gonna, sign you to some fucking fight and get your ass handed to you. But it's not like George Kambosos is actually on the upside right now. So I don't know. Maybe maybe Eddie Hearn has a nice little stable of English fighters that he's gonna just feed to Kambosos and maybe get him back into the title picture. I don't know, but apparently he's with signed with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing. First off, what do you think about that? Like, I don't know. I mean, not
Well,
that. Huh?
we don't know what the signing's about yet. If this is about the future of Kambosos, or was this just a signing where he's going to feed him immediately to one of his lightweight prospects, and he just wanted to double end the deal, maybe, couldn't have total control. Kambosos is.
Oh gosh, sorry. I got a dog here. He's trying to give me a second. Let me fucking take him out. So because
Yeah, no, that's
he's
fine.
quiet, he's good.
As the dog starts barking, bite him. Watch it bite Miguel. Oh, that was fast. I was
Sorry.
thinking,
Live
I
and
thought
loud.
he was gonna attack. Like, no, I'm not
No,
leaving.
no. It's that like, hold on, let me get this thing to focus again. When he hears like my mom get home from work or my dad or something, hold on, this thing's it's gonna focus. Here you go. All right. He hears, my mom or my dad like what is it called? Lock the truck with the fob with the remote,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's like, "Burp," and he hears it, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" And then he knows like one of them is home, and then he loses his shit. And he usually I have him here. He's chilling here on my bed, nice and calm until he hears something like that. He actually like barked earlier. He just like, "Burr, burr," and I was
Are
like, "Oh."
they his favorite humans, or is it you? Which one's his
Well,
favorite human?
it's my mom, of course, because
It's
it's
the mom.
basically her
Okay.
dog. But,
All right.
but whenever he does see me or something like that, he comes and he tries to fucking lick my face, and I'm like, ah, get out of here. It's a small dog. It's um Maltese, half poodle or something like that. So,
Nice.
yeah, got one of those because like once parents start to get old, they can't handle a big ass German Shepherd or a Saint Bernard. They kind of have to go with either one of those, and that's like a funny, it's like a funny cliche of like Mexican parents, either one of those kind of dogs, those fluffy white ones, the small ones, or a fucking Chihuahua. One of the two. We decided to go with this one because he doesn't bark as much, but clearly he was barking. Um, but yeah, we
Yeah.
were talking about Cambosos, right? Um, right now that I
In
was
the
thinking about it, oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you're
Well,
thinking about it. Go ahead.
yeah, there's what's his name? Paro, right? Liam Paro, who's at champion at 140. Maybe he's gonna bring in Cambosos and be like, all right, Cambosos, move up to 140 after Liam gets fighting or Paro gets finished defending his belt. Maybe we might have some sort of like Australian versus Australian fight. I mean, some that, and he'll have it in Davenport, Iowa, or some dumb shit because he's stupid as fuck like that. But I don't know.
If he
That
was
could be fun.
smart, if he was smart, he'd put them on the same card and do it in Australia, right? Because then you're selling a lot of tickets, and you're getting Paro eyes that maybe haven't seen him from Cambosos,
Mhm.
fame or whatnot. Because I'm guessing he's still sort of famous in Australia. He's one of the big hitters in the lightweight division. Um, Unfortunately, he only got about one more win or defeat in him before he won't be a big hitter
Mhm.
anymore, right? I think if he takes another defeat in his next fight, that's probably going to be it for Kambosos. So I really don't see Eddie Hearns making this signing about him. This was
Yeah.
about maybe the guy they signed that they're going to announce here and then tomorrow. You know,
Hmm.
it's a
Which we'll get into momentarily.
Yeah, something like that. Does he have, off the top of my head, I can't think of any lightweights that DAZN is currently in control of right now. Are there any lightweights that Eddie Hearn controls that this signing could have been for?
Um, oh man, I'm sure if we look it up, we would find it. Well, as far as the zone goes, the zone is another story because that's just a platform, right? But we just saw um Zepeda, who's a lightweight fight on DAZN, but he's a Golden Boy guy.
He's Golden Boy,
But
yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I'm sure after we finish the show, we're gonna be like, oh
And
yeah,
who did Matchroom want to match Zepeda up with? Was it just Shakur?
Shakur, yeah, yeah, because Shakur,
So
yeah,
that's so Shakur, but Shakur, has he fought Kambosos yet?
no,
So, you know,
yeah, yeah, I mean that makes sense. It's
it works.
Yeah,
It
because I mean that like pretty much what you said. Cambosos only has like one more defeat in him before he's completely irrelevant, and that might be exactly what Matchroom is trying to do. It's like, all right, you still have some sort of name recognition. Let us be the one to fucking pull the plug on you, and be an opponent or a gatekeeper for one of our guys before you're totally irrelevant.
And if Shakur's looking to stay, or if he can't stay, then you double in the paro. Right now, you get him a title shot at 140 plus the two Australians. Hopefully, he could sell tickets. So that it works with him. It works with Shakur. It works with whoever. We don't know who they're going to sign here. Um, so yeah, but as far as Kambosos' career, I think his moment in the sun is done.
Hmm.
Lucky he gets another main event shot in Australia, and the only reason why would be ticket sales. But as far as what he's done in the ring lately, they've all been shutouts. Correct? I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of his fights have really even been. He has the one moment. You know what I mean? He has that
Mm.
one moment. Um. So, and even in the Devin Haney had to rematch him.
Yeah. Fought him twice.
They fought him twice, so he does
Hmm.
have that fight where I guess he looked decent enough in the first one where he got a second go around. So he's got a little something there. Yeah, look for that to be if they can't get him, if they can't get Shakur in the Zepeda fight, look for Kambosos to probably be the Shakur's comeback. I'll call that. I'll put my money on that one, Miguel. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
that's
All
a
right.
good call.
Yeah, that's what came to mind just now when I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, because he's and every time what's his name, Eddie Hearn has an opportunity, he throws out Paro's name, when it comes to Haney or anybody else for that matter, and he's always like, we have Luan Paro, and he always has to throw him in there, right? And understandable, it's his fighter, and he's a belt holder, and he's a holder at a weight class that's kind of talent laden right now, so that makes a lot of sense. But on that note, you may or may not have heard slash read that Matchroom Boxing is going to be signing somebody very, very soon. Well, I think they've already signed this person, but as far as the announcement goes, they're going to reveal who that's going to be tomorrow, Monday the 25th. So I don't know when. I don't think they specified what particular time. As far as I know, I don't think they've even like talked about some holding some sort of press conference. I don't know to what degree they're gonna hold this secret. Like, are they gonna have this guy put on a fucking mask, a luchador mask, and come out in some press conference and reveal himself and make it super, pro wrestling like, or make it kind of like I don't know, a soap opera. Build up the suspense and then reveal it in the very end. However, it is interesting that this is going to happen. Of course, tomorrow we're going to find out. But going through my social media feeds, I came across this one account on Twitter or X called Brunch Boxing, and they are they're giving out their ideas basically of who it could potentially be. So let me read off their list.
There you
And mind
go.
you,
That's what I was looking up. We're on the
oh
same page, dude. I was trying to look that up right now. Go ahead, Miguel.
yeah, so this
He's
popped up
ahead of
on,
me.
it's okay. Um, I think I was like reading. I can see. You ever seen that commercial where that guy has like a Volkswagen Beetle on his head, and it's like getting bigger and bigger, and people are looking at him like, "Is there something on your mind?" Right? And he's like, "No, I just want to talk about it." And then the beast Volkswagen Beetle. I was reading that on what you're saying. You're like, "All right, got to pull it up." But all right. So this is basically their guesses of who it could potentially be. Number one, Teofimo Lopez. Now, I don't know if they're just pulling these names out of their ass just for shits and giggles, or if they have some legitimate, like, oh shit, his contract is ending soon, so maybe bada kind of thing. They don't go into details, but the first one is Teofimo Lopez. So before we go on to the next one, Andrew, what do you think? Is that likely or nah? We can kind of like speculate right now.
The only thing I can say the connection would be the Canelo's team. The Canelo's
Ah,
team,
we'll
yeah,
talk about
right.
that later on. Yeah.
So I don't know what the relationship Canelo has with Top Rank. If him and Bob have some beef that maybe they told Telefimo, hey, if you're gonna come to our guy, over here at Reynoso, we'd rather you sign with Eddie. So that's the only link off top of my head I could think of for that to be a prospect of who signed with Matchroom.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, I know that um, Eddie Hearn is, well, at least was cool with Canelo. So there's the DAZN connection, right? Canelo
Definitely,
having
definitely.
those fights. So definitely possible there. Okay, that's a possibility. The next one in line, Caleb Plant.
Ooh.
Now, this one I think might be more plausible because I don't know how much longer Caleb is going to stick with
It's
the
a
PBC
huge
guys.
one.
Mind you, people are like hop jumping left and right, jumping ship. I mean, another PBC dude who left PBC to come to Matchroom, Boots Ennis. He was with PBC. He booked it. He came over to Matchroom. So maybe Boots was like, "Hey, Caleb, these guys are better than fucking Mr. Heyman. Come on out." So come on down. It's like a fucking Bob Barker. But Caleb Plant is one. What do you think? Logical? Yes, no?
Yeah, no, that's a great name. Listen, they've connected him with Berlanga for a while now, right? So
Mm,
once again,
mm,
you would have Eddie Hearns double ending a deal. You have, and just like Kambosos, Caleb Plant has a platform or a promotional company. Yes, not the greatest marketing guy though. So maybe Al Heyman was like, "Hey, if you can get something, go get your money, kid, and cut me a check. This is the
mm,
percent I take from you, right?" And that's
mm,
maybe what's happening to Cambosos too, because it's like their market's just not there for them to run their own main event. So why not go out and see if there's anyone willing to give you a fight? And if you have to sign with them, then you have to sign with them. But as long as they still, Al Heyman's still getting his piece, then he probably doesn't really, mind that he's going to another platform, which he doesn't, because we've seen all the PBC guys do it lately.
mm.
I don't know what's going on with the PBC. It's like they're there. All the rumors are saying that they're going away. Signs kind of point that they're going away. Then all of a sudden they're just still there, right? It's like they
Mhm,
got a
mhm.
life jacket on. They're just floating out in the boxing world.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, a boat comes by, grabs one of the guys, brings his ass back, and drops him back off. But he still gave him a boat ride. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
it just feels real weird what the PBC is going through right now. So Caleb Plant is an excellent. That's an excellent. That's better than Cambosos or who did we just say?
Teofimo. Teofimo. Yeah.
Telefimo.
Yeah.
That's a way better one because Caleb doesn't really have a good platform right now. The PBC is just not, it's pay per view really only is what we're seeing from them. Yeah, Caleb Plant, good one. That's a
Yeah.
solid. That's a solid
That,
pick.
that one's right now is in the lead, I think,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as like our suspicions go, because that one does seem a lot more plausible. And then even like if he decides to move up to like let's say 175 or something, there still is guys like Bivol out there if they want to do that because he's at super middleweight. Then he's been at super middleweight for quite a while already. So in the
And
event that he wants to move up, he's got some options there.
And let's be honest, this Amazon deal seems to reach out to every platform. We've watched all of Canelo's fights have been on DAZN and Amazon, right? It's
Mm.
like Amazon merges with anyone. So if Eddie wants to get in on the Amazon pay-per-view for Berlanga and yeah, I see it all working. It all plays out, and that's the best fight for both of those guys right now.
Mm.
Berlanga versus Plant is probably the best fight for both of their careers at where they're at. It's a pay-per-view fight. They'll make good money. Yeah, no, I definitely would be totally into that one.
All right. That works. All right. The next one, which is a little bit of a strange one because he was with Matchroom at one time, Devin Haney. I don't know if he's already. I mean, like, here's the thing. He's fought on the zone, um, right, with Regis, and I thought because he's kind of flip flop back and forth between like Matchroom, Top Rank, and I thought he already was with fucking Matchroom because of his, the fight with Ryan Garcia was on his own pay per view, and I thought he was already there. I don't know right offhand if maybe I'm just misremembering, but to Devin Haney, I was like, is it maybe like a long term deal? And maybe he
Yes, it would
wasn't.
have to be. It would have to be because I believe that's all they are, bro, is a fight to fight thing. Remember, that's kind of what Eddie says. He's not really signed with us. We just help him
Mm-hmm.
out, when basically they probably do the paperwork that Haney Promotions
Yeah.
doesn't want to do.
No, all Haney Promotion does is the
Hey,
embroidery on the
yeah,
hoodies, and
yes, they just like making the signs and the poster.
yeah,
Like, we'll take care of all that, but all that legal stuff, you
yeah,
guys handle
yeah.
that.
Matchroom lawyers, you guys fucking handle that shit. I just want to have a nice fucking hat.
Yeah.
Uh,
My dad's in involved in making the shoes.
Yeah, I know, right. Yes, that's probably where they are. But okay, I'll go with Devin Haney. It's not
Oh,
bad. I mean,
and
uh,
I gotta say, yes, it would be a long-term deal. It also makes sense. Look, Devin Haney's suing Golden Boy, correct? He's suing Ryan and Golden
mhm,
Boy.
mhm,
So it's not like I don't think they would be looking to sign with Golden Boy here in the near future.
yeah,
Um, Top Rank doesn't seem like a great fit with Devin Haney right now. A lot of the opponents that he's looking to get in the ring with are attached to Eddie Hearn, right? You got
mhm,
Paro, you got Boots right off the top. You got Barrios if he wants to go to 147, right? There's just a lot. Top Rank's not holding any of the cards anymore. So I don't see it. Yeah, Devin Haney's a real possibility. He goes back with his tail between his legs to Eddie Hearn and says, "Can we work a deal?" We all know he didn't like the whole putting up of his own $2 million, right?
yeah.
He didn't want to do that shit again, right? So it's probably time to go sign with someone, right? Stop with the
Mm.
bullshit. So
All right. Well, that seems pretty good. Okay, the next one seems a little unlikely. Josh Taylor. Um,
ah,
yeah, that's kind of. I mean, okay, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, let me. I'm trying to think of how I can word it. It's not like he's a fucking mega star by any stretch. I mean, not saying that Kambosos is either, but um, I just it doesn't seem like it's like that one is gonna be likely. Um, I'm trying to think of a good reason why it wouldn't be, but for them to make such a big hoopla about it till we're like, oh, it's gonna be a mystery and you're gonna find out, that I would be pretty fucking disappointed if like after all this anticipation and this mystery, it ends up being Josh Taylor and everyone's like, this is the fucker who they signed. Like, okay. It just seems like, Haney, Lopez, Plant, those seem like, oh, more high profile fighters that, oh, there's some anticipation behind the big reveal, and then we probably won't be disappointed if it's one of those guys. I think that something like this, where they will make a big reveal over it, would fall flat as shit if it really was Josh Taylor.
we also have a mega fight for the first three guys you named, right?
Mm,
Or a pay-per-view fight, if we would say that, right?
mm,
Josh Taylor, we got nothing for him. It's not Josh Taylor. The
mm,
boat has passed, or it's left. Um, it's he had his moment. Unfortunately, he didn't capitalize on it. Stood on the sidelines way too long with the Catterall bullshit. So no, I don't see it being Josh Taylor at all. And I agree with you. If it is, what a letdown that today's show will be. Sorry about that, people.
yeah, I know. For as much of the anticipation everybody's building, making it a big deal with this whole like secret, mystery person, it would be quite a letdown if that was legitimately Josh Taylor. The next one, Clarissa Shields.
Mm.
I don't know about that one. I don't know
The
about that one
the
because
the the boat hasn't left, but I don't know if it's planning on leaving either. Where's she going? She calls out Serrano the other day. They start immediately. Didn't what's the chick Cyborg come out and go?
oh,
Aren't you
Chris
30
Cyborg, yeah.
pounds? Yeah, she's like you're 30 pounds heavier than her or something. Is that true? Is she actually 30 pounds heavier than Serrano?
Um, yeah, dude. I mean, Serrano is
Yeah,
fighting
what a
at fucking
joke.
135, and she doesn't even. And they've said it. She's a true featherweight. That's 126.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
where
what a
she's
joke.
actually at, 126, really. But fought, at fucking 140 actually when she fought Katie Taylor. They're at 140, but
40.
she's actually 126. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
but and then even Chris Cyborg herself saying like, fuck it, because. Um, Chris Cyborg, well, I mean, she's on the downside of her career as well, and I don't mean that is in regards to losses because she just won some belt at the PFL, but I'm talking about age-wise. Like she's kind of on the way out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many more years she has left in her career. Chris Cyborg, I'm talking about, and I think at some point her and Clarissa, although they were cool and they've, I think they've even
I
sparred a few
seen that.
times.
Yeah.
Now they're kind of mouthing off a little
Yep.
bit, and some hostility is like building. So there's a I don't know. Of course, Clarissa's like, well, let's do it in the fucking boxing ring. And Muslim's like, look, you're heavier than me, shit, So if we want to do this with the weight advantage, we'll do it in the fucking PFL or MMA and no weight classes. You come in as heavy as you fucking want, bitch. That's what Chris Cyborg is saying. But um, again, then what? Let's say Clarissa is this mystery signee. Um, what is You know, I don't know. Katie Taylor's gonna throw Katie Taylor at her. You know, like, all right, Katie, you're gonna
Yeah,
gain 34 pounds and you're gonna fight Clarissa Shields. That's super, whatever. It's like, no, I don't think that's gonna happen. But
no,
uh,
Clarissa is definitely her own boss. She dictates the fight when she gets it. I think that's how the promoters play her. You wouldn't sign her to a long-term deal because you never know what the future is with women fighting, right? One
mm,
fight could be that take Taylor Serrano one, for example. Yeah, no one, everyone seems to forget. I know we all like praising Jake Paul on what he did for Serrano's career, but we have to remember on their comeback fight when Jake Paul pulls out, one of them pull out, the
mm,
Tommy Fury or someone drops out of the fight, first one, they don't run Serrano
no,
as the main
yeah,
event. They just pull the total card, right? So she goes from fight of the year, $1 million purse, first time ever, blah blah blah,
yeah,
to yeah, we're not even going to go with the fight on it. And it was in New York, and it was
yeah,
in New York the fight. So I
right.
mean, you never know what women's boxing is going to deliver. Taylor Shields, I think you're onto something with the cyborg thing. I think that's a fight that most diehard fans would be interested in. I think if they did a two-fight boxing MMA spinoff and take it to His Excellency, excuse me, with the PFL, they're in with His Excellency now, right?
Um, I don't know if he's in with
Who's the
His
one that
Excellency in
bought
particular.
Ngannou? Who bought Ngannou?
Oh, it was PFL, but I don't know because here's the thing: it is PFL, but
Okay,
PFL are in bed with the Arabs, so the Arabs are bringing in some sort of money to them. I just don't know if it's His Excellency in particular. It's like because the PFL actually ran a pay-per-view a couple of months ago, back in October, I think it was, with Ngannou fighting their heavyweight champion, whose name is escaping me at the moment. But regardless, it was like it was a total flop. Really, it was, I think, like 10,000 pay-per-view buys was what they got. And they before the event got started, or before the main event got started, they announced, like, the way Bruce Buffer does. He's like, a thank you to the board of yada yada, talking about His Excellency and his people. They announced something similar, and they said His Excellency, some other person, and I was like, oh shit, he's here. No, it wasn't him. It was some other motherfucker. So it was somebody else. I don't know the name right offhand, but I'm sure that I don't know if it's another person. I mean, I know it's another person, but I'm trying to say is another entity, another company. Because in the same way that here in, I guess, here in the U.S. we have different athletic commissions, I don't know if that's the case over there in Saudi Arabia. So maybe like His Excellency that we know him, right? Turkey is one, and there's like a few more or something, because the Arabs are indeed pumping money into the PFL. It just wasn't him, Turkey, in particular, to my knowledge, because I don't remember
okay.
that motherfucker being there. But yes, they are pumping money into the PFL, and they got Ngannou, of course. But yeah, if that one seems plausible for that, Clarissa
For
Shields picking
that,
up
yeah,
money, yeah,
exactly.
for
I would take
matching.
that. I don't think it'd be for Eddie Hearn. You're right.
Mhm. Okay, these other ones are kind of lackluster, to say the least. Anthony Yard or Yarde, I don't know how to pronounce the
Oh
last name.
fuck no,
We'll
Skip.
give, yeah, we'll give,
Pass. That's a
yeah,
hard pass.
yeah, Kevin Kovalev, Carlos Adames, which is WBC middleweight champ, Carlos Adames.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the last one, quite frankly, and I'm a fan of boxing, I don't know who the fuck this is. Lester Martinez. Who's Lester Martinez?
Lester Martinez. I don't know. What's
Um,
it saying on the description of on
oh,
him?
it just says, I think it appears to be the
Lester Martinez.
Argentine flag. Um, I don't know. Let's find out, because when we're talking about, oh, here we go. He's a Guatemala a fighter from Guatemala. All right, let's pull him up. Let's see what it says. All right.
He's gonna be a
Uh,
small guy.
let me see here. Oh, super
Five
middleweight.
five.
Super middleweight. No,
What?
he's a five
He's
eleven.
still 5'5". He's 5'11".
5'11. Yeah. 18 wins, 15 by
Is that
KO.
racist?
And it's like, oh, those Latin American guys don't go beyond 5'5". Um, they have he's 18 wins, 15 by KO, no losses. Okay. Got a nice decorated amateur background. Last fought back in June by unanimous decision. Okay, well, I mean, he's won like the WBO Latino super middleweight title, one of those kind of offshoots. But
Right.
okay, he's pretty solid record. I'm not gonna say he sucks. I mean, he hasn't fought anybody yet, of course, but again, if they're gonna go as far as to have this big reveal, you would think it's somebody we will know, not just
We
like
would
somebody,
know. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Somebody that hasn't reached 20 fights yet.
Right.
Um, so so yeah, there's there's that. I think um the leader of this race is most likely Caleb Plant, right?
You
That one's
if
most.
if no one can tell how slow the news is, that was a good example right there. Those last two names, man, that reporter's really stretching. He's like, the article's just not big enough. Ah, fuck it. Yarde and who's Martinez? The Lester Martinez kid. Who is that? I'll put him in there. Fuck it. Like, come on, man. Those
Yeah,
last two names are a stretch, bro.
yeah, they really were. They're just. I mean, shit. I would have. Who the hell were they gonna bring? Like, did you hear that Oliver McCall is back? He actually fought recently at 53 years old or
Yes.
something.
Yeah, he
It's
broke
like,
Tyson's record.
oh, what was the record? The KO.
That he got a win. I think
Oh,
that he fought at 58 and won. So one up on Mike. It sucks that you do all that and then a week later some old fuck done half of what you've done. Oh, he knocked out Lennox. Hey, he has his one
well,
night, right? He has his one night in
that
the
was an
sun
upset.
there.
And then he comes back fucking crying his eyeballs, and poor fuck, what the hell's his name? Mills Lane in the ring, like, are you
Fucking
legit,
kill
man?
him, Mills. Like kill him.
Yeah.
Kill him. Hey, Lennox, like, come on, he's crying, man. He's crying. He's like, I don't fight. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Fight.
Yeah.
I don't care. He's crying like a bitch. Hit him.
Yeah, he calls upon his inner Tom Hanks, is like, there's no crying in boxing. Like, go after that motherfucker. Come on now. So yeah, that's pretty much to the extent that Oliver McCall is. But could Oliver McCall be the next out? No. Well, that's some shit. Like, hey, Jake Paul, we got your next opponent, Oliver McCall.
Hey, did you see that Tate guy called him out? Who's the
I
Tate, the
think
kickboxer dude?
Andrew Tate. Yeah, I
Andrew
think
Tate. There you
another.
go. It's a good one.
I think that's an old video though. I suspect that's.
Oh,
I think he had called him out before, and then that video just resurfaced. I think I could be wrong because
okay.
I don't follow him,
Okay.
but
That's a good. Hey, if I was Jake, I would look into that fight, man, because
yeah.
if we're talking YouTube numbers, right, and all this social media, I mean, isn't that like the biggest social media fight you can do? Is you and Andrew fucking Tate at this moment? Yeah,
Possibly.
that's yeah. I thought that was a good call out. I was like, that might, because you know what? To be honest with you, I thought highly of the Tate guy until I seen his fighting videos, and I was like,
Mhm.
wow, he looks a lot better than he fights. His skills lifting weights were way better than his skills hitting pads. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, he didn't seem like he was that great of a kickboxer. I'm not saying I'm better than him. I'm not, but I'm just saying when I watch his videos, if I was Jake Paul, I would at least look at the fight. Like he said, he hasn't fought in 10 years. He hasn't, been in the gym to compete in over a decade. What's up?
mhm.
So yeah, I thought that was a cool call out. I like that one. If it's recent, I don't know. It
Yeah,
might be old.
yeah. I don't. I mean, I don't want to say like it's that old. Maybe if I remember correctly, it might have been no more than a couple of years old. So it's still relatively recent. It's not that old. So that's most definitely a possibility. Well, I mean, I think of all of those, which a nice little softball. Thank you, Andrew, because that's one of the next topics was going to be, this Jake Paul call out. Everybody's calling him out, right? Because to just kind of put a bow on this mystery signee, I think it's safe to say that the Mad Boxing Show, thinks it's going to be Caleb Plant that is most likely going to be signed. So that takes us to the next topic. Again, thank you, Andrew, for the softball. Jake Paul's next possible opponent. Not that there have been any rumors per se, but of course, after what he did to Mike Tyson, which frankly wasn't much anyway, but made him look bad, worse than Tyson already probably could make himself look. Everybody coming out of the left field now,
Yeah. Yeah.
offering their services to step in the ring with one Jake Paul. One of which being another Andrew. Well, I'll say Andre Ward. Ward decided to come out here and say, "Yeah, you know what? You want to call out retired motherfuckers that are old? I'm down. You know, um, I don't like that idea because I guess it looks good. It looks good from Ward's perspective, saying he's not gonna fucking fight me. So if I call him out, chances are he's just gonna duck and turn around and go the other direction because he will. But he's kind of doing sort of the same thing that Jake Paul is doing by calling out someone like Conor McGregor or something like that, right? It's like, he's not going to fight you. He's tied down to a contract with the UFC. You're just trying to pump up your chest and be like, yeah, I'll fight you, knowing damn well he won't. It's kind of the same thing. Ward is doing the same thing, saying like, oh yeah, let's go, bro, let's go. We know Jake is not going to take him. Come on now, even as old as he is. So we'll start with that one first. What are the possibilities? What is the likelihood that Jake Paul decides to go ahead and fight Andre Ward?
Not good now because of how big of a number the Tyson and Jake Paul the platform is, right? How high the numbers got with 60 million views. I think the final number was. I don't know if Andre could hit that with Jake Paul. So that might take him off the radar right there, right? They might have only a certain names that are on the board for Jake Paul right now. And to be honest with you, the circus act is working. It's worked at every level. And with Mike Tyson, it seemed to have hopefully not peaked, but it got to its highest point so far, right? The bar has definitely risen in the Jake Paul world.
You're hoping they didn't peak with that? You think you're
no, I'm saying, well, Netflix is probably hoping it didn't peak with Mike Tyson,
okay,
but we know that it's climbing, it's getting higher and higher, right? So you don't want that number to drop. So you're looking for opponents that can get that only to go up. And that would be guys like we said last week, man, Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, possible Manny Pacquiao. It's names like that. I know Manny's smaller, but at catch weight, some people just don't care. They probably say Manny beat him anyways, right? But it's going to be a name like that gets Jake Paul there. The only reason why we brought up a name like Chavez was because that was if Jake Paul was serious about going after a belt. Chavez is at least a point in the right direction. He's an ex-champ. He's more current than Mike Tyson. So that's why we were giving Chavez a chance at getting this fight. He's already lost to an MMA guy, so obviously his skills aren't. I mean, it's Anderson Silva. I shouldn't say an MMA guy. It's Silva, one of the best that ever did it. But he's already shown that his skills aren't that great as a boxer if you're losing to Anderson Silva, correct? So that even gets Jake interested in this fight. So that's why we'll
talk about Chavez Jr. in a second because he's one of the other options on here. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, all right, my bad. So switching back to who do we? Oh, Andre. Yeah. Andre Ward. It's a great for Jake Paul if he was being real. I mean that's Jake Paul's step right into Canelo. You beat Andre Ward, I give him Canelo, right? I'm dead serious. He would have earned it. So. Sure. So that, but that's fantasy land. He doesn't even want Canelo anymore. We all seen it after the fight. He backed off of the Canelo call out. So Andre Ward's off the table, unfortunately. But I am happy that he called him out. I am happy that boxing responded the way it has. They're not shying away from this guy. Now it's like, what's up? You fought our old dude, now fight me kind of mentality we got going right now. And I like that because that's what Jake Paul needed to be humbled. And Better Beef humbled his ass. Sorry, but he punked you, Jake. When you're over there like, oh, yeah, no, everyone wants to fight me. No, he called you out, buddy. You going to accept or what? He totally shied away from answering that question.
He did his best to go around
and Better Beef even went after him like the next day. Like, I didn't get your answer. Can I get an answer from you?
Yeah, they called him on pretty hard. Yeah, he pulled his bitch card real fast. Yeah. And, he's like, well, no, who did he say? Oh shit, he went after somebody else.
Dubois about being on the undercard.
Yeah, and then he was like, at least he has a few thousand followers, talking about Dubois.
Yeah,
like, okay, yeah, that's the reason why you want to fight Dubois, really, because he's got that many fucking followers. Fuck out of here. But I mean, hell, even Dubois, go ahead. But again, he won't do it.
It's a great fight. Yeah.
Regardless, that is one of the other ones here. But
and I gotta tell you, you know how much Lee would have been taking credit for Jake Paul's rise in the boxing world? Yeah. Serious, man. Like, he did Lee's blueprint, right? Lee said I could get you guy, or he always used to say I could get to 18-0, I would get a shot at the title. Look at how we're talking about Jake Paul today. He gets a fucking bum ass record against fallen MMA guys that are not even boxers, ex NBA guy. just bullshits his way all the way, and now we're like, oh yeah, Dubois is a great fight, and oh yeah,
Yeah.
fucking better be even. Got all these champion names and we're ex-champions surrounding him. No, Lee was right, man. In
Mm.
boxing, you could do it. Just give me some money and fucking you'll make a champion, paper champ, and get him a shot.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Even if he's exposed at the top, the bottom line is he got there. That's the
Yeah.
method, the formula to
Yes.
getting there is that's is why I tell people who aren't big into boxing that boxing's the wild wild west. I swear you can
Yep.
fucking do some crazy shit, negotiate how long your fucking ring entrance is, for Christ's sakes. What other sport can you do that? Um, but all
Freaking
right.
Sergio Martinez. It was like a bike rider. He's a bicyclist, so he's like
Yeah.
21. He's like, I'm gonna try boxing, whatever.
Mhm.
Fights for a title, wins an M middleweight title. Like, yeah, it is definitely the Wild Wild West, dude.
Yeah. But who else? Okay, so we got Ryan Garcia calling him out, right? Part of this is, I guess we can call it this like a two-part story here. Basically, Ryan Garcia is going to have an exhibition fight with his Japanese kickboxer, if I can pronounce his name properly, Rikuya Anpo.
Hmm.
Rikuya Anpo. But and then here's the thing. I read Ryan Garcia's like I think it was some Instagram post or something saying that like, yeah, I'll fight the guy who, who had an
Yep.
exhibition with Manny and he tried to knock him out. And I'm like, is he getting it confused? Because I don't even think this is the motherfucker who is like, maybe I'm confused, but I'm like, this dude had a fight with Manny. Like, I thought it was somebody else, but I could be wrong. Maybe I just went over my fucking head.
Ryan was there. Ryan was there. Is that the fight you're talking about? The one
I don't
Ryan
know.
was
I
there?
mean, it could be. It could be. But he said, like, I'm fighting the guy who had the exhibition with Manny and actually tried to knock Manny
Well,
out.
I
And
gotta say that he knows it's the same guy that fought Manny.
oh,
I mean,
okay.
that'd be kind of silly if they posted this without knowing that that's the same dude. And look, he's correct though. The
Mhm.
guy did try to knock out Pacquiao. Like he was throwing some hard ass punches. Like it was like, dude, you're supposed to be an exhibition. He went in there fucking balls to the wall, and Manny actually starts taking off on him. We covered this.
Ah.
Yeah, we covered this fight. Manny starts fucking teeing off on him like in the third round, maybe the final round. Maybe it was only a 3-round fight or some shit.
Mm.
But Manny started picking up his old ways again. The feints started working. The kid started getting all tired. You're fighting a champ. You know what I mean? You pissed them
Yeah.
off. It was actually a good fight for what they gave us. But
Mm.
definitely seeing what Garcia's seeing about the kid taking it way too serious. But they
Mhm.
also had a little altercation at the weigh-ins. The Japanese, they're Japanese, yes.
Yeah, I think the Japanese. Yeah.
The Japanese fighter seen Garcia in the stands and then just went over there and started talking shit. And
Mm.
Garcia kind of was like, "What did where fuck did I do?
Right.
Fuck
Right.
you."
Yeah.
Then he's
Yeah.
like, "Fuck you." He just starts flipping, just being Garcia. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's there. I'm a little bit thrown off. I thought he was supposed to be out of boxing for a year. So what I'm wondering, Miguel, is what's going to happen when he comes back to the States to try to get it reinstated for his license? Are they going to bring up the fact that he went behind their backs and had an exhibition in Japan while being suspended? And if they could then go, no, we're going to not only not give you a license today, but you're suspended for 6 months for violating your suspension.
Do you think that is a term of the suspension? Like saying like not only can you not actually
What are these
fight in,
suspensions for if you could just go out of the country and fight anyways?
well,
Why are we
in,
even doing this?
an exhibition, it isn't sanctioned. So keep in mind that that's kind of the loophole I think he's going for, because he's going to
Well,
go out and
then
do
I
this
think
exhibition.
it's still. Then I think then you're back to your Wild Wild West thing where it's all foolish because then fuck it, we'll just run an exhibition and I'm
Mm.
making money anyways. Does anyone what is it? Anyone know that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul made $60 million combined, right? So exhibition or not, they're still making some serious cash. I mean,
Yeah.
you would think that the commission would be a little bit upset that Ryan's getting in the ring, making money
Hmm.
when he's supposed to be in jail,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Mm.
so I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. If it's a loophole, great. That's a great loophole for all boxers. If you're suspended, fuck it. Call it exhibition. Make 10 million anyways. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Might as well
Yeah.
cheat.
Well, yeah,
Just
true.
kidding.
Yeah.
Don't
No,
just.
well, I mean, keep in mind, we hear these allegations of Jake Paul being on the gear. You see his face all fucked
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
stuff, and you see how much weight he's gained. But keep in mind, this is what Ryan is saying, right? He's gonna go after this dude in Japan, right? And then he's gonna go after Jake Paul. So I don't know what weight. I don't know what weight they would fight at. I mean, again, if it's an exhibition, then maybe it isn't. It doesn't have to be any specific weight class or anything like that. So who the fuck knows how that would happen? But according to Ryan, that's who he has as I said on next is Jake after he fights this Japanese fighter. Um, Again, that we can go back to that same question: how likely is it that we're gonna see Ryan Garcia and Jake Paul? I mean, that seems even more far fetched than Andre Ward.
Yeah, it does. Cause the weight. I think the weight's just too much. Where are they gonna meet in the middle at?
Yeah.
Ryan would look too fat over anything over 147 probably. You start getting 154, he's gonna look like a square. He won't even look like a boxer anymore. You'll
Hmm.
look like Roberto Duran back in his older days. So I don't see. I think it's just too far. Maybe on the same fight card, they'll do a million hits that way. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They'll have a big platform that way. But once again, if I'm Ryan, you better be in contact with with your sports lawyer, a commission, or something to see how far what you can actually do while you're supposed to be suspended. Because no boxing activity. I thought he can't even be in the gym. Didn't he say that himself?
No shit. He can't even be training. No, like staying in shape. Nothing.
It's like when Margarito got caught with the gloves. I thought
Hmm.
him and his trainer were banned, like in America box. They couldn't even enter a
Oh,
fucking a ring. You know what I mean? Like if they got
yeah.
caught in the arena, they'd be asked to leave. I don't
Hmm.
know if that's how big this, if that's the weight this suspension they had on Garcia. We've seen the WBC eliminated him from the rankings
Yeah.
totally. So I don't know. Yeah, Garcia is weird. We can use him back. He's good for the show, but but
Yeah, he is good. Just basically material for the show.
yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
that's what he turned into. I don't know if
Hmm.
he's serious about his career or not. I'm glad that the kid isn't doing as many stupid videos as he used to. So
Hmm.
he's grown up in some ways, right? Even if it was through, hey, you lost millions of dollars in endorsement, he still he has grown up in the sport because he isn't posting. I mean, the dude was out of control, especially when he started posting his girlfriend having the meltdown. That was
Hmm.
like, dude, that's totally stupid. So that all went away. So give him credit for
Hmm.
that at least.
Or at least temporarily. Maybe
Yeah,
somebody finally got to him as I do enough of this shit. It's like, okay, fine, enough.
yeah.
But all right. So one of the other possibilities, you brought him up earlier, Chavez Jr. Now, last week we kind of sort of touched on that because Chavez himself posted something on one of his social media saying like, "All right, let's go ahead and do it. If you want to do it." Last week I tossed out the idea slash hypothesis slash predicament slash what's the word um, conspiracy, I guess, that it wouldn't be a bad idea for Jake to take this fight not just against somebody like Chavez, but him in particular, but also do it on Cinco de Mayo weekend, which
Oh
is
yeah.
a weekend
Oh
that
yeah.
Canelo normally fights. Um, and he ends up fighting another fellow Mexican, well, fellow Canelo, but another Mexican in Chavez Jr. Considering how on the downside of his career Chavez Jr. is, he probably would take a much lower payday, much lower pay, and chances are Jake will probably beat him. Maybe even legitimately, not even
Yeah.
stupid clowning around
Scripted.
or
Yeah.
scripted shit. He could probably beat him. Can you imagine Jake Paul, fighting him on Cinco de Mayo weekend and free on fucking Netflix? But Jake Paul coming into the ring with a sombrero, right? Sort of like Floyd Mayweather, sort of like Gervonta Tank Davis, comes in and he beats Chavez, probably pisses a lot of Mexicans off. He then becomes public enemy number one, and people are going to tune in to watch him get his ass beat. And he's all of a sudden, the celebrity boxing version of Money Mayweather. It's that same fucking formula. Why not? If he knows he can cash in, that's a fucking gold mine. Of course he can do it. People now he's gonna have the Mexican people against him. They're gonna want to watch him get his ass beat. They're gonna tune in, and he's gonna most likely win anyway because he's gonna figure out a way to do so because Netflix wants him to do so. But that's the route. That's the formula, right? Add to that, WBA president Gilberto Mendoza went as far as to post on his Twitter account, I believe it was, saying, "I insist this fight be for a championship." So, how I don't know, but mind you, whatever weight division they're gonna fight at, most likely it'll be, I don't know, 200 pounds, right? Because there's where they kind of sort of fought. I don't even know how heavy was Jake when he fought Tyson, 217 or something. Is that what it was? I forgot what the weight class is. But when Jake fought Anderson Silva, I want to say he was at 190. So I'm sure he can be under 200 pounds to at least make it somewhat fair for Chavez Jr. These guys fight at 200 pounds, we'll say. That's cruiserweight. Well, who's the WBA cruiserweight champion right now? Zurdo Ramirez is. So I don't know how the fuck that would happen if Gilberto Mendoza decides to make this for, or the
a regular, maybe it'll be a regular belt, something like that.
Or this made up Bridger weight shit.
Yeah.
Like, is that what they're gonna go with now? So they're gonna.
That's a division that never took off. Wow.
Yeah. Right.
What a blast from the past there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like we haven't heard that shit in a while. Wouldn't that be crazy? It'd be like the WBA Bridgerweight champion Jake Paul. Wouldn't that be some shit? Him holding a fucking WBA belt. Gosh, how the sport has fallen. But all right, why not? It's a circus, right? It's like, all right, it's gonna be that type of fight. That seems pretty logical, and Jake Paul can check a lot of boxes. Piss off fans, get them to tune in to watch you get your ass beat a Mexican, take views and eyes.
Well, not only that,
finding somebody else, huh?
Not only that, he's in listen, this week or last weekend, Jake Paul got on the top 10 for Live Gate, right? He did over 20 million. So he's top 10 now in combat sports for Live Gate. Jake Paul got almost got a fucking Charlie horse. Had to jump up real fast. He got the most views any combat sport ever had, right? 60 million. Everyone, they're comparing him to pay-per-views. They shouldn't. Compare him to the Mike Tyson Fox
Jones
fight that he had. When he fought Buster Mathis Jr. He topped that one. Put him against every UFC fight that's ever been on free basic television. He topped them all, right? Let's just spit facts. Let's not bullshit with the pay-per-view numbers. Give us all the free combat sports. I'm probably guessing that Netflix fight outdid them all. Now you're going after the king of Mexico, the king of boxing. You could take his Cinco de Mayo from him on views, not on, not like he's going to take it if he fought him, you guys. I'm talking about viewership that night. It would put him on the radar again. It's another path to Canelo, if that's what Jake wants right now. Still don't know if that's what he wants today.
Even if that's what to get under his skin, just to get under.
Yeah, and it would be another notch for him to put on. This is all what I've done in my 4 years. It is impressive. It really is impressive what he's done. And Lee kind of always told us that this could be done. And we're like, whatever. Yeah, I guess it could. And right here in front of our eyes, we're talking about this YouTuber as a legit player now in any kind of sport that he chooses. Put him over at Conor McGregor. I think their fight would do fucking 1 million buys too. And have 60 million views if it was free on Netflix. You put him in a cage. So the kid's actually a crossover star right now. Ugh. It kind of hurt my stomach saying that, but
that's what gave you the Charlie horse, right?
Yeah, like, exactly. Exactly. My body's rejecting this shit.
Champion. Oh fuck, that hurts. It's like he'll be a #1 contender. Ah, yeah. Like that. That's
fucking good. My body's rejecting this shit. Like, motherfucker, what did you just say?
The lactic acid in my stomach is like going to my fucking calf, giving me a Charlie horse like I was asleep or something. Yeah, that's some shit, huh?
Yeah, no, he made it. He made it there. That's a good call. I really like that Chavez fight on Cinco de Mayo. I mean, you're giving some strong points there on why Jake should at least look at it. Netflix.
Mm.
Look, Miguel, they're going to have some honest numbers to go off of Chavez. This dude's fought on every platform. So they can go out, oh, you want to see what he does in Mexico on free television? Here, we have like 15 fights of him on free television. This is the shares that he brings in, he's average of what he brings in. You want to see him on pay-per-view? Here, this is what they were doing on pay. Like, they have so much resume to work with Chavez Jr. And yeah, unfortunately, he does carry the name of the king, the last king of Mexico, right? So he has that backing him. And damn, I think there'd be a lot of Chavez fans that would be interested in seeing if he could bring that honor back to his father's name one time. Can you fucking knock out this white kid from America? Like, there might be a potential fight there that just grows, right? It wasn't shit. You know, a year ago, I would be like, you guys are dumb. That fight's big. But then you say it today, maybe it grows into something just because of the two characters involved and really how hot Jake Paul got with the Tyson.
With the Netflix. That's what I mean. That's kind of what changed the things. No, I mean, like when we see how much of a viewership these kinds of circuses can get, and I'm like, well, that just blows the door wide open to who the fuck else it could be, you know, like as long as it's free on Netflix. Can you, I mean, I'm sure how many people, I mean, we're going to get most likely Canelo Cinco de Mayo weekend against some unnamed opponent on pay-per-view for $70, or Chavez Jr. and Jake Paul for free on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Like you already most likely have. So, and for a championship that Gilberto Mendoza insists wants to throw it on there, I wouldn't be surprised if fucking Mauricio Suleiman comes in with his, like, you know, YouTuber belt or something and gives it to one of these guys just for the sake of holding. I can't even picture Jake Paul with that famous iconic green belt on his fucking shoulder. So that one seems a little bit more plausible. Whether or not he'll go in that direction is another story, of course, because we don't know yet. He hasn't said anything, but
we got to see where the McGregor fight goes. I think that, you know, we got to look at those bigger names first. I can't say Floyd right now because I haven't really seen Floyd hit on it at all, but McGregor has kind of hit towards Jake Paul this week, so we got to see where that goes before we look at Chavez. Chavez definitely a plan B to the other guys.
No doubt. So that I thought that was pretty funny. I wanted to bring that up to kind of like take a look at what potential fights he's got with Andre Ward calling him out, Ryan Garcia calling him out, right? And some of the other ones, of course, we kind of already know that he isn't going to take, like Beterbiev and whatnot, and even Dubois, for Christ's sakes, not going to go.
I want Andrew Tate. I want to keep it totally celebrity, bro. Totally celebrity, because that prolongs this Netflix thing. I like where Netflix is going. Miguel, I told you this, that Netflix viewership was going to help boxing. I still going to say that it's going to help boxing. Look, 60 million watched Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. 50 million. 50 million. Bro, that's a huge number. That is a huge number. We never got that before. How many millions watched Barrios and Ramos? Two guys that never would have got that type of viewership before. Might have had, 10 million homes watching them? I'm lowballing the shit out of the 50. But let's say 10 million tuned it in from the very beginning. Boxing's never had that number in any of their platforms. Whenever they ever show, Tyson on Fox. Gotta give it up to Mike. It's always Mike's name attached to all this big viewership shit on. But anyways, it's got to be Mike on Fox. Is the only time that we've seen someone do over 10 million homes, a share like that. So, and PBC fought hella times for free. They had hella championship fights on Fox for free. None of them came to. I think the closest we had was Spence. Spence fights on NBC. I think it was NBC right after a basketball game. So he gets like 6 million homes. And we were like, oh, dude, Spence is the new Floyd. Everyone was all, but there was like a little print that said, well, there was an NBA game right before they showed. It was like, oh, okay, maybe it was that. And it turned out to be that because his next few fights, he never reached that again. You know what I mean? But still, Spence was up there. He had a big share one time on free television. But yeah, it did help boxing. It was the number that I wanted. A big number. I was hoping that we were going to get it to show that there was still interest. Damn it, we still have interest. 50 million were watching Serrano and Taylor at that point. 50 million homes in America were tuning in to that ring. So there's something there. At least Netflix, they got to look at the next group of kids and who can we get a face? Who, Keyshawn Davis, someone like that. Shakur Stevenson, someone like that. Someone that's going to take their company for the next 10 years, right? That's what I'm not looking for the short term. I'm looking long term. That's when you're getting into this new era of kids where I think, or fighters, excuse me, where I think all the guys above that the boat just passed them by, man. It's done. All those PBC guys, they're scraping. Canelo's at the end of his career. Unfortunately, Telefimo Lopez, he's at the beginning of his superstar career, yet in a year or two, he's going to be at the end of it. So it was a really fast one, right, where he didn't make a lot of money, but I just think the boat has passed him by too. Devin Haney, don't know if he's going to be able to bounce back from the bullshit he's went through with Ryan. So yeah, I Netflix, His Excellency, these guys have a platform to build on in the future, and it's going to be these younger kids, a Keyshawn or a Shakur, one of their eras that get us there.
So I kind of have to disagree with you on this one.
Whatever, dude. That was a long rant I did.
That was a long rant. It's like, so at the very end, I'd be like, wrong. No. like I know, right? Do that Donald Trump is like, wrong. No. But my only thing is, when you mentioned people tuning in to watch these fights and then seeing Serrano and Taylor on the undercard and showing that there is interest, I don't think that interest is there without Jake Paul. So you put on a card. I mean, we just said it earlier. Jake Paul was going to have a card some time ago that was, I think it was when he was going to fight Nassim. No, who the fuck was it? Rockman Jr. or something. I think it was. I forgot who it was. But he pulled out, and the co-main event was going to be Serrano, and then they just fucking did away with it. What does that mean? So yeah, 50 million people saw Taylor and Serrano, but you put them on again as a headliner without Jake Paul, and how many views does it actually get? So
True.
Yes, it does bring views, and I know this is everyone's argument. Well, it brings views to boxing. It brings people to eyes to boxing. It brings people's eyes to Jake Paul boxing. If tomorrow he decides to go play professional tennis, they will all go watch him play professional tennis. They wouldn't give two fucks about boxing. That's how I think. And as much as interest that we got from a bunch of fucking people watching him and Mike Tyson, if they can, and he brings views to people, right? We saw people watching Taylor and Serrano, and I'm sure a lot of people watching Abel Ramos and Mario Barrios. But you put that match as a rematch on Netflix, and that was a bad fucking fight. That was a hella good fight. I was digging that Ramos and Barrios fight. Do the same amount of people? Probably not. That's my only gripe. That it's like, yes, it brings people's eyes to the sport for that fucking moment when Jake Paul's on the card, or he's headlining the card, I should say. When he isn't there, then there's nobody there. Then we have the same amount of people that we've been watching this whole time. So that's my only, I guess, asterisk. It's just like, yeah, it brings people for the time being, for him in particular, and whatever opponent he wants to fight, big name circus opponent he wants to fight. But when they're not there, then we're back to basically, on fucking CBS or whatever,
And I agree. I agree with what you're saying. But what you're saying is when Jake Paul's done with Netflix, that's why I'm telling you the fight that will prolong his Netflix deal. You see what I'm saying there? That's why
Jake. That's what I'm saying. It's his deal.
Well,
it
okay.
Shit for the boxing.
Well, no, because now his next fight. Let's say he does get Conor, right? It's going to be another fight that's going to bring in about 60 million views. Dead serious. He gets someone that big, it's going to bring in views. Well, what if the undercard, another 10 million watch the undercard again? And then in the co-main event, they go, hey, well, darn it, 30 million was watching when the co-main event went off. And the main event got 60 million. Well, that's fight number 2 that he has proven to Netflix that the undercard is bringing in millions of views. You got to remember, you don't need 60 million views to be a success, right? We've never even had numbers like that. So how can we say that, well, that's what we need? We don't know what they were acting. We know the shares weren't big that they were bringing on free television, boxing, MMA, whoever you're saying. They've never had this type of share. So he's going to do this again for us. If we can prove to Netflix that a fight like Barrios and
Ramos.
Ramos can bring in that many millions, and a fight like Taylor and Serrano can bring in, if we show a pattern of boxing doing this, then maybe Netflix goes, all right, boxing definitely has a fan base. Can we make someone besides Jake Paul? Yes, that first fight is going to be very interesting to see what the night will be like without Jake. But as long as Jake can keep winning for us, say a 4-fight winning streak, that's almost going to be 2 years of platform, Netflix platform, that he's going to give the boxing world millions of views that we never got before. And who knows? Let's see what the end game is at the end of that. You know what I mean? So, yes, I do agree with you. If Jake was to retire today, it was all for nothing. That platform goes away, and that's it. But if he gives us 4 fights or so where he is able to get a win streak here and stays on Netflix, who knows? Maybe Netflix gets interested, because we know that there are fighters like Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Mike Tyson, that just change. They how is it? They get the interest of the whole country. Every fight they have, people need to watch. I mean, De La Hoya was making $1 million in his first pro debut, dude. Came right out of the Olympics. Well, he might have got robbed. He probably said he got robbed on that million, but the contract was still for $1 million. Bob Arum was saying he was making $100 million in his first run as a champion. With his endorsement deals and everything, he was already making $100 million a year. So, and then Sugar Ray Leonard, we all know what his numbers were. Ali's the greatest. So there's fighters that can. A Manny Pacquiao
Sure.
came to the sport and just changed it. I think he has 14 pay-per-view fights in a row, bro. 14 of them. You know how much money that man generated in just that little run? So that's what we're hoping Netflix, someone in the boxing world, could get into there and say, look, yes, Jake Paul's good, but we also can do this on a serious run and have a fighter. Floyd went 50-0. Chavez Sr. went 89-0. You know what I mean? Like, you get a fighter like this, you guys are good. You guys are set for the future here. So
So,
that's
so
where
it's not
Jake.
Jake. So it's not Jake the one that's going to be that guy that transcends the sport. It's going to be somebody that will be on the undercard that they say, okay, we'll put our money behind. Kind of like what probably Turkey should do, right? At some point, find a guy that's going to take them to the next.
That's
Um,
right. And look
next.
at what Oscar was like. I would love to make someone from Saudi Arabia the champ. That, you know how much money you're gonna get if you can make one of Turkey Ali's boys, one of the young men from his country, the champion to go to see. Man, that's, yeah. You're talking that our jokes about Lamborghinis being in the front yard would be very real,
Yeah.
very real.
Uh, yes, very, very true. Uh, all right. So, that went. We went into depth in that conversation longer than I anticipated.
He always
But
underestimates us. I gotta tell you.
I got. I
Every
always
show, he's like, it's
try to
gonna
be.
be a slow one.
And I try to, I under promise and over deliver, guys. Gotta do that. One of our other stories, we brought him up a few moments ago or earlier. Teofimo Lopez apparently now has decided to work with the Reynosos and Team Canelo. So I know that right off the bat, everybody's gonna start talking about the horse meat, or what is it, the meat and the tainted meat and all this shit, right? They're gonna go into that direction because, or what was Valdez's
Well,
thing? The
yeah,
Stevenson, right?
yeah, I was gonna say, bro, you got Valdez, you got
Uh,
Garcia, right? They've had
yeah.
a few little issues. Well, Garcia wasn't under Reynoso though, right?
Well, not at the time that he
That
fought.
he got popped. Okay,
Yeah.
good,
Maybe,
good.
I don't even remember who the fuck he was with. Maybe it was Goosen for all I remember. But anyway, but that's the the now unfortunately the
Yes.
stigma that comes with that,
Yes.
um, and the reputation, I guess. Hopefully that's not the case because I think we're past that now. I don't think anybody's brought it up yet. But well, that's pretty interesting, right? He's going to be working with Team Canelo now. The post said Team Canelo, but I don't know if it's going to be like the Reynosos, right? Because specifically them, I guess, that we presume that's going to be the case because that's how it was even with Andy Ruiz when he was there. So we talked about this for
And,
quite a while already. Huh?
It's kind of sad. I just want to throw it in. It's kind of sad how the Reynosos have to put up with that bullshit too. When you go to their gym, it's Team Canelo. When you go to Freddie Roach's gym, it wasn't Team Pacquiao. When you
Yeah,
go to Emmanuel Stewart's gym, it wasn't Team Tommy Hearns. You know,
yeah.
like all of these trainers have someone who brought them to the spotlight. You know, what's the young man in the guy James? What's his first name over there in Texas?
Derek James.
Derek James.
Mhm.
They don't go the Spence team, right? They go no,
Yeah,
you go to Derek James. He's a good trainer. He trains Spence, you know. But poor Reynoso, they're like, hey, you know, Canelo's guy. Hey, you're
yeah,
Canelo's guy. You know your
yeah.
fucking name. You're Canelo's guy.
Right. It's like you're his butcher, right? It's like no, I'm his trainer, motherfucker. Shit. It's like I was a butcher in the past life, damn it. But yeah. So yeah, Team Canelo, right? I mean,
Team
that's
Canelo.
yeah. So back to that, Team Canelo, because that was my question. Is like, is it gonna be because I took a picture with one of the Reynosos there, right? That's gonna be the case now. We've talked about this before, and we've kind of sort of wanted to push Teofimo in that direction. At some point, your dad is going to have to be, no longer in the fucking corner. Yeah, he'll be on the team,
Yeah.
but when you're struggling with, Sandor Martin, and you go back to your corner, and your dad's like, just finish this guy already. Like,
We got a party.
yeah, we
Got a
gotta, like,
party.
we have 2 hour parking outside, buddy. We gotta hurry the fuck up. You know, like, come on now. Like, you kind of need better instructions than that. And if your pops who's in your corner isn't giving you those kinds of instructions, the good ones where you can, cut the ring off or go to the body because he's running a lot, anything. Um, I like this. I like this because damn, and you mentioned it earlier. The boat might have already passed Teofimo in regards to how much money he could potentially make because of some of the years lost, and this loss to Kambosos a couple of years back. But I like it. I kind of dig it. I'm like, all right. So does that mean that his pops is going to take a step back and be like, all right, Teofimo Senior is going to take a step back and be like, all right, I'll still be, which is kind of what we're hoping for, right? That he was going to at least let somebody else come in and take the reins as far as like his son's career and training. He'll still be in the picture. He'll still be in
Right.
the corner. He'll still, well, not the corner, but in the locker room. He'll still be ringside. He's still going to have this pass to be there. So it isn't like he's going to be, it isn't like he's not going to be part of the team. It's just that he's not going to be the one coming into the ring, putting the Vaseline on and giving his son instructions, but rather, Reynoso. So it's a good sign. I don't know. And wouldn't it be some crazy shit if like he announces, yeah, I'm with the Reynosos now, Team Canelo, and then tomorrow we find out that Matchroom actually did sign him. It's like, oh shit, he's really going in a different direction. And like, all right, well, clearly he's been listening to our shows, I guess, because he's taking the shit seriously, right? And it's not
Right.
his pops in his corner and the back and forth that he's having with Bob Arum and Top Rank. What do you make of this?
It's a good move. It's a move a lot of us have asked in the boxing world, not just fighting at Mad Boxing, but freaking everyone kind of knew that his dad had maxed out his
Mm.
limit with his son as far as training, and now it's like you just said. Was it a little too late? Right?
Mm.
Can you teach an old dog new tricks? We wanted you to do this when you when you were a young pup still growing. You know.
Yeah. Like as
Now
soon as you beat Lomachenko and you're the undisputed lightweight champion, then it's like, all right, now these guys are gonna take me, not when you fucking lost the belt. And I mean, to his credit, he did move up to 140 and took took on Josh Taylor, but then plateaued. Good.
Yeah, yeah. So that we're gonna see, but it's the right decision. It's the
Mm.
right decision. And this later part, his downside of his career right now, coming off of his prime, maybe he prolonged his years in boxing a few, bringing in Reynoso, teach him a few tricks, teach him how to be more of a boxer. Right? We know
Mm.
he has the hand speed. Maybe he's a dangerous Canelo. If you could put Canelo's style on Teofimo Lopez, with his
Mhm.
speed, his reaction, because it's still there. I haven't seen that fail him yet.
No, I think he
Um,
still has it. Yeah.
yeah, maybe this is a Barrera or Bernard
Mm.
Hopkins type
Mhm.
switch that we'll see where it prolongs their career pretty fucking good, especially Barrera.
Mhm.
Barrera was like, man, Barrera was like, hey, this guy's at the end of his career in the Morales situation. Then fights for how many more years when he just switches it up on, was it Prince Nasidi comes in boxing more. And then he just takes it from that point on. He's more of a boxer puncher. And same with Bernard in the Trinidad fight. Um, Comes in as a boxer puncher more, and then takes on that in the what is it, Roy Jones era, he's more of a slugger, right?
Mm.
So yeah, maybe it turns out for that for Telefimo. So definitely had the skill to be on the pound for pound list. Can Reynoso make him the pound for pound best? We'll see.
Do you think he's? I mean, it doesn't seem like he's the kind of person, Teofimo, I'm saying, but is there a possibility that we might have a Andy Ruiz slash um, Ryan Garcia situation where they come into the camp and things are run a little differently? Maybe the Reynosos cracked the whip a little harder than they would have liked or anticipated
Definitely
and
are.
said, like, I don't really like it here. Get, Dan Goosen on the phone. Now I'm, on to somebody else,
Now
are
I
we
don't know.
possible? Mm.
Does Telefimo Senior know Spanish? I know Junior doesn't.
I don't know, actually. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't remember ever hearing him speak Spanish, but I'm not entirely sure. I might have to look into that, but my guess is no.
Okay. Yeah. That's the only thing that I would see blocking them. But what won't block them is he's not Ryan Garcia, and he's not Andy Ruiz, in the fact that he's not Mexican American, right?
Mhm.
I believe he has some Mexican in him, but he also has Honduras. He also has, I think, Spanish. Didn't they bring out a new flag the other day
They
on one
did,
of it?
yeah.
Yeah, they
But
brought
you
out
know
a
what? But like a Latin American country? Like, was it a Spanish speaking country? They brought out another. Was it? Oh, you know what? Was it Spain? Was that what it
Spain.
was?
That's what I said.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Spanish. It
Okay.
was a Spanish
Oh, my
flag.
bad. Yeah, yeah. I thought you meant like just a language, but yeah, yeah. I was
No.
like, yeah. I get it. It's like Guatemala or something.
You
It's like
know, one of those guys.
yeah.
Right.
I forgot what comedian said this, but anything below Mexico is just Mexico. Like, El Salvador, Uruguay, Paraguay, all those fucking Spanish speaking. Like, oh yeah, Panama, that's just Mexico.
So yeah, no, so he doesn't have that chip on his shoulder, right? When they walk into the gym, there won't be that little just weird vibe going on. Instead, this is just two fighters. Everyone's fighters in this gym right now.
Okay.
So maybe they are able to get through it. Um, the language barrier. I don't know. They're gonna have to have a translator there then. If no one knows Spanish,
The Reynosos don't like. I mean,
I don't think they speak
for as sharp
English at
as
all.
Canelo is up here, because he does speak English. I don't think I've ever heard any either of the
Mm-mm.
Reynosos. I mean, definitely not Eddie. Um, speak English. I don't think.
Yeah, no, I don't believe he does, bro. Nope.
Interesting. But I mean, it's a good call. I like it as long as
Yes.
everybody can get along. To fucking quote Rodney King here. It's like, can we all just get along? Like, I'm
And I
sure
think they
can all just
will.
get along.
I
Yeah.
think they will. Yeah, no, because they're different backgrounds. Like I said, this is more just I mean, he's from the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? He's not from California. He has none of that what is the word? Stigma? Is that a good word? Like he
Okay.
doesn't have all those things that they can nitpick from where
Yeah.
East LA guy, Southern California guy, where Mexicans they can you think you're from here, but you're not. Kind of
Sure.
attitude more, right?
Okay.
Don't even know Spanish kind of. Well, when you're from the East Coast, you're not even Mexican. They don't. That's just not there. It won't be there in my. Yeah, like if they say mariachi, some type of music comes on, there won't be no. Oh, do you guys listen to this? Bet you don't listen to this where you're from, right? Where those jokes might have been cracked at Andy Ruiz and
Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia, right? Sing this song. I can't sing it. You can't fucking sing.
Yeah.
Tell me
he
what they're
gets all
saying.
he gets all butthurt like,
Yeah,
it's like, okay. Like, go clean your gloves. Like, okay.
exactly. Yeah. So I always felt like that was there. It was some of the videos that they had posted. I don't know. You seen like Ryan was smiling when he has no fucking idea what's being said. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah. I mean,
Everyone else is just.
he was gambling with Peso Pluma, that fucking Mexican rapper or singer or whatever you call him, and like all the comments were like, this fucker doesn't even know what the hell he's saying, right? And clowning on Ryan, and sure, it's like, uh, I'm sure what's his face, fucking Ryan legitimately didn't know what the hell he was saying because they were gambling or playing craps or something, right?
Right.
And of course you can tell Ryan himself doesn't really know how to gamble, so he's just kind of throwing some chips on there, and Ryan's like everybody's laughing like for all they know they're talking mad shit about him, but he's just going along with it because he's not really understanding what the fuck they're saying, and he's like, oh, this fucking Mexican guy over here, this Puma dude is pretty funny, this Puma guy or whatever. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he got teased a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always felt like that was there in those situations with the Lopez's. I don't believe that'll be there. So hopefully Lopez goes there where it just open mind. He wants to learn. If he wants to learn, then we know Canelo and Reynoso are there to teach, because we also seen Canelo reach out to Ryan while he was there. We seen him reach out to Valdez too while he was there. So good move for Lopez.
If we can maybe take a stab at it, what do you think one of the primary changes we'll see in Teofimo in the event that because most good trainers don't really try to change you per se. They kind of try to tweak you a little bit and add something to your style so you can blend it into yours. And they don't really try to do a complete 360 because it kind of fucks fighters up sometimes. But it just, I mean, again, we don't even know who Teofimo's fighting next or when the hell he's going to be fighting soon, if not later. But I guess if we can take a guess, what change do you think we're going to see in Teofimo's style in the ring in his first fight with the Reynosos?
That I don't know, but I will say that the Reynosos do seem to try to implicate their own style on their fighters.
Okay.
Valdez, you kind of seen him change into more of the three punch power combo that Canelo tends to throw a lot. Ryan, you seen him always brag about taking the steps from Canelo, learning from him off the gym. So
Mhm.
I don't believe that they're just the type of trainers that will make sure you work out good and go ahead and just do what you do. I don't think he's one of those guys. He's actually gonna, you come to their gym, they're gonna try to show you what they know, or how to beat fighters a certain way. So no, I do think they're gonna change him, um, or tweak him enough to where we'll see change in their first fight. It's all about how Telefimo takes it, though, right? Is he going to take it and believe in these guys and actually do what they say? Or will it be 2 rounds of him looking new, and then in the third round just go back to being old Telefimo because what she said didn't work and I know more, right? Because that's kind of what he did to his. It's probably and I can't say he did like I know, but it's kind of the battle he probably had with his dad, right? At a certain point, Telefimo was probably thinking he was up here where his dad was always down here, because his dad was not a fighter, had no other champions. He was all new to this, right? So they weren't at the same level. Where if he buys into the Reynosos, because the Reynosos have a bigger resume, they've been here, done that. Then he'll learn, and we'll see a big change in him. We can't. We have to know Manny even changed with Freddie Roach, right? They always talked about the right hook that Freddie added
Yeah,
in
that he
him.
added to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and Manny was a champion when he went to Freddie, right? He had already won
Mm.
titles in 2 weight divisions, I believe. So it can happen. So we'll just see how Telefimo takes it. He's gifted enough to, and I like. You have to remember, he's already a counterpuncher. So he
Mhm.
kind of already floats around what one of Canelo's biggest strengths are, the counter punch. So maybe the Reynoso seen that and was like, dude, we just got to add this or just tweak
Mm.
this, and this guy's going to be legit, you know? So,
Because the first thing that comes to mind is defense. There are some times where he just gets hit, and I mean, it's not to the point where he gets hurt, but it's sort of like we saw with Boots Ennis. It's like you're getting hit a lot more often than we kind of anticipated, man. So I'm hoping that that is one of the key changes that we see in Teofimo is maybe that upper body movement that
yeah,
that Canelo has, because he does. Because I mean. He's an athlete, you know what I'm saying? Like he's very athletic, Teofimo. I'm saying if you see, with some of his earlier fights where he would celebrate and do a flip, he would do a backflip, but he
that's
does a
right.
backflip jumping forward. He's like boom, boom, boom. That's just hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? That's like
Yep.
no joke. You do a backflip, a normal backflip, you can probably pull it off. But when you're running forward and you still do a backflip, that's some athletic shit. So he has the capabilities, the physical capabilities. It's just putting it together. And that defense, I'm just hoping that that's what gets really tweaked. Like that's the part that gets added to it. Because if you can, if he can add those two things, like you said, he's already pretty good counterpuncher. He doesn't cut the ring off very well. Sometimes, the same way that Canelo went when was fighting Caleb Plant, let's say, he was getting tagged because Caleb was countering him, and at some point he was able to cut off the ring, and he started him finishing Caleb Plant. So being able to have that, like, all right, look, clearly this is not going to work. I'm getting hit. I'm going to do something else, and I'm going to corner you or cut off the ring or something. And that, like you're saying, added with the defense, so he doesn't get hit as much. I'm hoping those are one of the major changes that with Reynoso's.
It's definitely gonna make a fight with him and Ryan Garcia a little bit more interesting. Think about the drama show that's gonna be now.
Mm,
Microphones all in the Reynoso's faces. That whole camp, right? He's fighting your
yeah,
other guy. This guy says he loves Canelo. How does that make you feel? Right? I
yeah,
mean, Garcia's
that's
showing
true.
him nothing but respect, bro. And I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, they have the potential of now meeting him down the road with Lopez. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
and maybe even well, most likely at welterweight because it's not gonna happen at
Yeah.
140. So, I can imagine that kind of. Um, I mean, knowing
You'll
Ryan,
see,
he'll probably
you'll
throw him
see,
under the bus. I think.
and you'll see Canelo too. Canelo be like, "Oh, we told you he always didn't like to train, so we'll probably knock
Yeah,
him out pretty easy."
yeah. Well, that'd be some shit.
Ryan's gonna be all
Like
crying,
I
like
know
a good.
you're gonna have tell Fimo and be like, "This is what you could have been, Ryan. You could have been this guy, but you wanted to go out fucking, smoking or drinking and doing all this shit. You lazy fuck."
Yeah,
But all right. Well, anyway, that was kind of cool. That hopefully that does bring on some changes. But that would be some crazy shit if, like, of course he just announces that he's going to be with the Reynosos, and then tomorrow we find out that he signs with Matchroom. It's like, oh, all right, that'd be kind of crazy if it is him.
yep.
Um, all right. So one of the other stories I want to talk about is it was recently said that, or reported, I guess, and I don't know to what validity, but William Zepeda apparently suffered an injury to one of his hands during that fight with Tevin Farmer, and apparently it was bad enough to where they're going to postpone his fight because they had, from what I understand, the fight with him and Stevenson, Shakur Stevenson, was tentatively scheduled for the 22nd of February in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh season, and now that's going to get pushed back because of the injury to the hand. So let me go ahead and read off what it says here. This was an article from yesterday on, and this is from Boxing News 24/7, which you can take with a grain of salt. Some of the shit that's on there is just, I swear, they just take who's anybody's article and they post it on here. But sometimes they're legit, sometimes they're not. But let's go on what they're saying here. William Zepeda suffered a right hand injury last weekend in his 10-round split decision victory over Tevin Farmer at Riyadh season or whatever. Um, Golden Boy president Eric Gomez revealed that Zepeda has suffered a hand injury and would need to postpone his title shot against Shakur Stevenson to a later date. Those two were supposed to meet on the 22nd of February. No one knows that this is a legitimate injury for Zepeda, as he didn't sound eager to take the fight with Shakur after his 10-round split decision victory over Farmer. So they're talking about him in his post-fight interview. He didn't seem too eager. I think he was kind of maybe disappointed in his
Right.
performance against Tevin, and that's one of the reasons why he didn't sound so eager. But it could be that maybe he felt his hands and he's like, "Oh shit, my hand's a little hurt." So, um, so then Cepeda, it said, let's see, being mentioned. Oh, he mentioned other champions, of course, in that interview. Although he did say he probably would end up fighting Shakur, but again, he didn't look too excited. Social media fans suspected Cepeda, 28, is ducking Shakur and just stalling for time, waiting for the outcome of the March 1st fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. So that seems kind of it's possible, but I don't think so. Considering Gervonta most likely isn't going to fight anybody like him. He's going to fight the Frank Martins and Lamont Roaches of the world. So that seems a little unlikely. I wouldn't put it past him, though. I'm not going to say and it's not possible. Maybe he is taking a step back and it's like, all right, this fight is going to happen in March. Let me see where that maybe a fight with Gervonta would get me more money than Shakur, and then Shakur can go off and do his own fucking thing. But And then it says the only downside for Zepeda in waiting for Tank's fight with Roach is over is that he'll miss out on a payday, of course, against Shakur on the 22nd. But of course, they're gonna take that time to rest if that is the case. So fans are suspecting that he really didn't injure his hand. He just wants to buy time for that Shakur. I'm sorry, Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach fight to happen, so we can get a better idea if he wants a winner of that one as opposed to Shakur. Um, that's possible, but I'm not sure if I believe it. But that's there's more just quotes on this article here. But let me see here. Let me see where we're at. Okay, this is what Eric Gomez said. He said, "No, Zepeda. So Zepeda suffered an injury. He hurt his hand. We're looking to see when we can reschedule the fight because that's the fight that Zepeda wants. So according to Eric Gomez, he's saying Zepeda does want Shakur Stevenson. And yeah, and then there's other quotes. But anyway, so what do you make of that? Everybody is already doubting him. I mean, I don't know if they're. It seems like they're
I
looking
wouldn't
into it, huh?
I wouldn't pay attention too much to what the fans are saying. Obviously, we don't know shit.
Mm,
We're going off gut feelings most of the time. I wouldn't. I don't like them turning down the Shakur fight. Look, if he's injured, he's injured. But don't bullshit this Turkey Ali Sheik, man. Do not bite the hand that's feeding you. And I think De La Hoya knows that. And I don't see him lying, bringing up some fake injury so they can see what pennies Amazon is going to offer them, because we know it's not going to be guaranteed, right? It's going to be some pay-per-view. Why the fuck would you go after that when you got someone over here that's offering pay-per-view and probably guaranteed money?
mm,
So I hope that's not where they're going, is waiting for, dude, the right now Tank Davis has lost all of the momentum from his Ryan Garcia fight.
mm.
This guy is not a pay-per-view star. I don't see, if anything, Zepeda goes and makes his name with Ali Sheik and then tells, you're the B side now. Now you come and fight me, but I'm running with the big guy. Your company doesn't even offer guaranteed money. That would be foolish. He's not the A side. The A side is Turkey Ali Sheik. He's the A
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
I'm dead serious, man. You stay on that platform right now. That's what's working for us, and that's kind of cool that they already had that fight. Kind of on a handshake. What a huge fight for boxing.
Mm.
To think that that was going to be in February, so early in the year, we were going to get a monster fight like that. That would have been pretty cool. I hope it still happens. I do think the injury was more of a kind of trying to save face on that Farmer performance, man.
Mm.
It was a letdown on the potential of how big Shakur and him could at least we could dream about it being, because I think right now it's a little bit of yeah, but he didn't look that great against Farmer, so I don't really have him winning against Shakur. I think that fight is right there, probably where it's at. So maybe they're like, look, let us go. He's gonna. We all know these guys fight injured, right?
Sure, sure.
So the injury could be something that's been lingering there, and he's been fighting through it. But they're like, look, you're 28. I think we said he's 28 years old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
You're
under 30.
28 years old. You're about to enter the fucking prime of your career. We're talking pay-per-views. You're 4 out of your next 8 fights we want to have on pay-per-views, big lights, defending titles, winning titles. Maybe they're like, all right, I had a shitty fight because I've been fucking with this knuckle for 2 years. Can we get this knuckle taken care of? And then I'll fight whoever you want. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. All right.
Mm.
And so they're saving face and they're cleaning up his injury. Now we have no excuses. 100%. First fight you're going to have is Shakur Stevenson.
So let's say this is legit, right? It is a legitimate injury that's going to push this fight back. Does definitely suck that it's not going to happen in February. um, just taking a wild guess, when do you think we would be able to get something like this? I guess it sort of depends on because the article didn't mention the severity of the injury or even what hand it is or anything like that. If it's his main, he's southpaw, right? So maybe it's the power hand. Who the fuck knows? But as of right now, Shakur is recovering from an injury as well, right? So apparently he was going to be ready by February, but now we're not going to get this fight. It does. Number one, I guess it's a two-part question. Number one, um, when do you think this fight could potentially take place now that this injury happened? And number two, does this delay possibly um, what is it? What's the word? Is this could this be a threat to the fight that could potentially not happen now? If like we're getting these hurdles, and for whatever the fuck reason we can't get the fight to happen, and something in the meantime happens to where boom, now one fighter goes in a different direction. Could this be? I'm trying to think of the specific
Let
wording, but
let
uh,
me let me give you two examples of why his all Turkey Ali Sheik don't mess around. Tyson Fury versus Usyk. Seen a cut in that
mm,
fight. They said nobody's fucking leaving. We're doing this fight. Bivol versus Better Beef. We seen a
mm,
torn bicep or what was it in that fight? A arm or some
um,
shit.
no, it was well. We thought it was an arm, but it
Oh
was a knee.
damn
I think
it.
it was. Yeah, it was the patella.
Oh,
The
all right. Damn it, I got it wrong again.
yeah. Oh,
Anyways.
it's like his patella. No, no.
Well, so he got injured. Fight happened anyways, right?
Okay.
Let's hope the same thing with this one. It's too big of a fight. He likes it. It's two champions. They want to prove themselves. Let's wait. As long as it's legit, dude. We're in November, about to be December. He shouldn't need that long for a hand injury, right? So you say 3 weeks, a month after the February. So it will be March, April. They'll do the fight anyways.
Okay. That's not bad. March, April. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get another major fight before then, but that's not bad. It's
It's not bad. No.
the first quarter of the year. It's pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that's kind of because sometimes shit like this happens, and we ultimately not get the fight that we want. But this was before His Excellency, so
That's
the
right.
fact that we got two solid examples of fights being postponed, and then now with those two examples that you gave me, that definitely gives me a lot more confidence that the fight is actually gonna happen.
Right. Right.
All right. Well, one of our last stories here, just because again it was a relatively slow news story or news week in boxing. Floyd Mayweather decides to buy a stake in Versace's mansion worth $150 million. Um,
Hey, he ain't broke yet. That's what he's saying.
maybe he will be after this. Because keep in mind, everybody who knows, um, I was actually trying. I drew a blank earlier before we started recording, but that Versace mansion, Versace himself was murdered on the steps of the fucking of that damn shit, right? By Andrew Cunanan and a spree killer. So um, maybe the house is haunted for all I fucking know. But I'm gonna read off this quick little article that I saw here on this post. It says the retired boxer turned real estate investor. I guess this counts. What qualifies him? I don't know if he's necessarily known for being a real estate investor, but we'll give him the benefit of doubt. He's doing it here. Is partnering with Nakash with the Nakash family. It's the Nakash, and the Ali Gindi. Oh, good lord. Eli and then second word Gindi. So Ali Gindi to acquire a large stake in the former Versace mansion, now known as Villa Casa Casuarni. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to read it in Spanish, but I'm like, I don't think that's what it is. Casuarina. Casuarina. The Real Deal has learned. That's the website that's actually reporting this. Mayweather is taking the majority of Guindy's interest in the iconic property at 1116 Ocean Drive for an undisclosed price, according to the sources. The former home of slain Italian fashion designer Gianni Versace is one of the most photographed mansions in the country. It was coveted oh, I'm sorry, it was converted into a luxury boutique hotel with a restaurant, spa, pool, lounge, and event space.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
Guindy said Villa Casas, whatever the fuck it's called, which he called one of the most iconic properties, was on the market for $150 million. With Mayweather, the owners plan to open up the estate to the public. So it looks like it already was open to the public. It was a boutique, a hotel, a spa, a
Yeah.
restaurant.
Yeah. It's not
But
good.
it says the owners plan to open it up to the public. Um, what, a museum? Fuck, I mean, is it gonna be a bed and breakfast that has, I'm sure has plenty of fucking rooms in it? Well, we said it earlier. I guess Floyd isn't broke, although we did suspect. I mean, everything from him being stuck in what, Abu Dhabi or wherever the hell it was, that he wasn't able to leave until I ended up seeing him with my own eyes at this AEW pay-per-view at the MGM Grand earlier this year. Wow, I don't know. What
Well,
do you make of that? What do you think? Yes.
we've also seen him sell a gym, right? There was some
Oh, okay.
auction. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've seen him sell a house. They finally had that up that he was selling one of the mansions. So we've seen him shuffling money. But while he's selling, he also said he purchased a jet about 2 months ago, and now the purchase of this boutique slash hotel, whatever we're talking here.
Yeah. Spa, everything.
I liked I liked it better when it was just Versace's house. Now that you're telling me it's already kind of done the thing that Floyd is going to do to it, so it's already been a resort. Well, that's what they're going to do with it, is make it a resort. So what's going to change? It just changed ownership, but will the success change? Because the first owner obviously didn't have any success and is walking, right?
Hmm.
One thing that I'm hearing a lot about Southern California, the not only, it's not just the real estate, but like we know the beachfront properties are going down, right? No one wants to stay.
But this isn't in California. Just so you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
where's it at?
It's in Miami.
Oh, nice. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he was in. I thought we were talking Beverly Hills, Hollywood, something like
No,
that.
no, it is a beachfront resort, or it gets closer to it, because like it's famously, he's Gianni Versace, he's from in Miami, which is like a hot spot, right? And at the time, at least, of fashion. So there's where he was murdered. But regardless, yeah, it is, and I pulled it up here. It's 1116 Ocean Drive. It is in Miami Beach, Florida. So it's Miami Beach. I mean, maybe your
All
point
right. Well,
still
that's
stands, but it's just not in California.
no, that's better though. Miami's a hot real estate right now, where Southern California isn't. They've had mansions sit on the real estate market for over 8 years now, Miguel. We're
Mm.
talking mansions that are just fucking, they're dead in the water. People aren't buying them. So their real estate not doing too good. Miami's hot as shit over there. So that's good that Floyd is investing in the Miami real estate. That's a positive. I still got to lean on the fact that this place is already switched to a bed and breakfast or a resort, however the fuck they were saying it. Now they're just going to open it up to the public, which means cheaper rates, right? I mean, hopefully it gets hot, but I don't think they can charge the same. If it was some private club you had to be in to get into Versace's former house, you're talking the highest rates probably in the industry. But now it's just open to the public. I mean, what are the rate? What is it at that
Wait,
point?
I don't get what you're saying.
Well, you're saying the first time it was not open to the public. It was a
Well, so this is what is they're saying. So the former house of the slain, yada yada, is the
right
most photographed mansion in the country. It was converted into a luxury boutique hotel
luxury.
with
See,
a restaurant, spa, pool, lounge, and event space.
yeah.
So that's what it is currently,
So
I guess,
that
right before the sale.
so that meant luxury though, 5 star, right? So even if you were trying to get to that, those rooms might be $1,000 a night, $2,000 a night. Well, when they open up to the public, I don't think the rates are going to be the same. That's just I think they're going to have to drive. If they weren't working as a rich private place, why would it work as all right, now we're going to go open up to anyone and expect a bigger success than when you were a private freaking resort? I mean, you're talking about you were playing to the elites. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? So maybe it works. I don't know. I think the rates are going to drop though. That's my throw in. So I don't know if it's going to work as far as the overall game plan. But hey, I'm not a real estate Mongol either, like Floyd Mayweather is.
Well, you bought a house, so technically
Oh
may not be
damn
the
it!
best.
I did do that. Hey, oh yeah, yeah. Don't make me start pulling out all my assets.
Yeah, right.
Hold on.
Exactly. That's what it was. Did you sell your house and your gym to buy your house? And but it kind of throws me off, because it says, like, when it's open, it's going to be open to the public. Like, what does that mean exactly? Is it going to be a museum? Is it going to be,
Well,
maybe it's still
okay.
going to be like a bed and breakfast, but way fucking cheaper?
So there could have been a thing like a timeshare,
Okay.
where you need to, these timeshares can be for the rich, bro, where you're paying like $10,000 a month to have access to any luxury resort that they have. And so maybe the Versace's home was on one of these timeshare travel destinations where, oh yeah, if you want to go to Miami, we have Versace's home. You want to go to Miami, we could take you there. And then the guy's like, yeah, how many points is that? Oh, it'll be 7,000 points of your 10,000 that you get a month or whatever. Boom, you just got fucking, you got to stay. And but those can get really expensive where, like I said, it's only the elite that can afford that timeshare. So maybe they were in a timeshare like that. Nobody's going there. No one gives a damn about Versace being murdered on the footsteps. It just didn't work out. So they're like, no, you're not in our, we're taking you out. You're dropped. So then Floyd buys it and is like, fuck it. We'll open up to the public. Anyone can call us and just ask us if we have a room. You know what I mean? That's where I'm thinking that's going to go when it says open to the public.
Have you have you checked out the I mean, do you remember what it looked like? Because I just pulled it up right now, and I remember seeing it because again, I watch these like documentaries of like slayings and murderers and shit like that, and I remember seeing the house before. The house is on. I mean, it kind of looks like it's on a street where there is other hotels, and it just looks like a regular street. It's called Ocean Drive, but the address is 1116 Ocean Drive, and it looks like it's just a regular street, and in between what appears to be a couple of big buildings, some sort of restaurant, is his house, kind of in the middle, almost out of place. Really, it's a nice sized mansion, but it kind of looks out of place because everything else down that same street seems to look like stores or little restaurants, a little stuff like that. And the most recent picture looks to be like that, like what they're saying, right? The spa and luxury boutique and all that shit. So it looks like it wasn't just open for anybody. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. I don't know if that goes along with what you're saying as far as like timeshare points and shit like that, because it's possible. I just don't know that's how it works.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I'm just giving you an example of what it could have been, on why they're saying now it's open to the public, where before it was just a luxury hotel on a timeshare that you had to, that's the only way you could get to stay there.
Mm.
Like the whole building's only for, who do we have? We have like, what is the name of the? I'd have to ask Christina. I don't do any of that paperwork, but we have a timeshare that
Oh,
they have a big ass book that it's their resorts. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's what I would think that this would fall under, and now it's just like, no, now you can call and go, hey, do you have a room? Where
Mm.
sometimes you probably couldn't. You had to go through that timeshare to get to this place.
I wonder if the what we heard recently about Floyd like selling some of his shit was to purchase this stuff. Like, do
Oh,
you
of
think like
course.
I
It's
mean,
shuffling his money.
yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
took it out of the fucking the workout. He's obviously not the new Magic Johnson opening the 24-hour
Yeah, or he's not the new Billy
fitness.
Blanks showing the selling Tybo DVDs.
Yeah, exactly. So now he's shuffling the money. He's like, all right, can we sell where I still have something and invest it somewhere? Yeah, hey, this is doing great. We'll get you in Versace's house and make you, you'll do a new bed and breakfast. Soon he'll be at the door, probably as a guest, greeting guests.
Oh, I just
Damn,
no,
did
that
I
reminds
say?
me. That reminds me of fucking Joe Louis. Remember at Caesar's Palace? I don't know if you guys have ever been to Las Vegas, but inside Caesar's Palace, there's a big old like statue, like almost like a marble statue of Joe Louis, because there was a point where Joe Louis was so fucking broke that he basically worked as like a doorman or a bellman or
Right.
something at Caesar's Palace. I think Frank Sinatra hooked him up with a job there. And it's like, damn, the former heavyweight champion is like fucking opening doors for guests.
Dog,
I was
can you
like,
just hang out at the restaurant and tell old stories?
yeah, right, exactly. It's like Floyd. Back in my day, I knocked Diego Corrales down
I
for.
always, I always knew I was gonna beat up Manny Pacquiao. Fuck Pacquiao. Oh, could you imagine the stories?
Oh,
He could probably keep guests there all night if the real fans wanted to.
yeah, exactly. It's like that's gonna be part of the treat. It's like, all right, if you're gonna spend a night here, you're gonna have to hear 7 of Floyd Mayweather's stories. That one time that he flew Diego Corrales' wife to the damn. Like okay, I
Yeah.
remember that story. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, Well, that certainly brings it close to our show. We wanted to get you guys as much news slash just talking points as we possibly could. So as I said earlier in the show, we really don't have a lot of major fights coming up. Next week we have Sonny Edwards taking on Galal Yafai. It's going to be from Birmingham, England, and it's going to be on DAZN. So it's going to be early in the morning, at least Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys still want to watch some boxing, you could tune in early in the day on the DAZN app and catch flyweight some flyweight action. I'm down with that. I know a lot of people don't give a lot of love to those smaller guys, but I'm going to be watching because I'm going to be watching. But the week after that, Valdez and Navarrete is going to be in Arizona, Glendale, where I will attend. So keep, I'll be sure to remind you guys next week, but keep your eye out on our YouTube channel because I'm going to be bringing some sort of footage, be it weigh-in stuff or be it, either I get in as, media, a credentialed media member or not. Regardless, I'm going to be there. And of course, the day after, we'll be talking about it because it's going to be the talk of the town because I anticipate that fight's going to be pretty badass. But nonetheless, we gave you guys a couple of hours here of entertaining boxing talk. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us. We will be back next week again, like we always are. You enjoyed the rest of your weekend. Stay safe, everybody, and we'll see y'all next weekend.